Hello and welcome everybody to Sidma SF6. I'm Soul Stranger. We are streaming this game on Twitch and recording it for YouTube. So let's get started. We will actually create new game. I do have a configuration. We can look at the game settings. I will be playing on Emperor difficulty, standard speed. Rainfall is set to wet. World is set to new. And resources set to abundant. So these are the few changes I have made. I am going to play as any random leader. Let's see which one do I get.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. The great wave of Buddhism follows you, Shikan of Japan, Hojo Tokimune. Your people truly understand what it is to practice balance, and even your finest samurai will be well learned and spiritually apt. Be strong, embrace the divine wind, and you will reach enlightenment.
We have Shikan of Japan, Hojo Tokimune. This is a samurai leader. Every single civilization has their own leader and have their own features and abilities. So this one has Divine Wind, where land units receive +5 combat strength in land tiles adjacent to coast. Naval units receive +5 combat strength in shallow water tiles. Builds encampment, holy site, and theater square districts in half the time. That's cool. It also has Meiji Restoration. All districts receive an additional standard adjacency bonus for being adjacent to another district. Now that's powerful. This civilization also has its own unique land unit, which is Samurai, and a unique building called Electronics Factory. So let's get started. So Civ 6 is actually a turn-based strategy game, and there are a few ways to win. The first way is you should have uh, the highest score at the end of turn, or there are other ways to win, such as science victory, culture victory, domination victory, religious victory. So I usually try to play according to the culture of the civilization. So let's see. Electronics Factory, a building unique to Japan, plus for production to all city centers within 6 tiles. After researching the electricity technology, this building provides an additional plus for culture to its city. This bonus applies once a city and multiple copies of this building within 6 tiles of a city center do not provide additional bonuses. So, what I can see is this civilization gets a lot of production, and also it's very good for culture. So, we could look at either a culture victory or maybe a science victory here. This is a really good bonuses for this civilization. So I usually try to achieve one of those victory conditions, but I end up doing a domination victory somehow. So you'll know once you see it. So let's look at the map. So we have two stones, a stone resource around, which is really good. I'm also looking for plains hills. There's a reason why, because if you settle here on grassland hills, you will get two food and one production. Even if you settle in this two food two production, it will convert into two food one production, which is bad. So I'm looking for plains hills, which will actually give me two food and two production if I settle there. So let's see. I can see plains hills here. I can settle over this copper resource, but let's see if we find some other place. So let's move towards it. I would also like to use my warrior to sort of explore the map more. It will help me to understand what situation I'm in and if there are any other civilization around me. So these are barbarians. So these are not any other civilization or players, and they usually attack any civilization near them, or if they find your settlement, they'll come for you. And I settled here, and as you can see, I get 2 food 2 production here. Let's look at the research. Usually any technology tree research takes a certain number of turns, as you can see 18 turns, but if you, let's say, farm a resource, you get a boost and it cuts down to half. So I got a boost for founding a city on the coast on sailing, and it's now 9 turns. I'm thinking what to produce first. Usually I do go for, or the recommended for beginners is 2 scout 2 slingers, but I'm doing something different here. 2 slinger and 1 warrior. Now, I have never played on Emperor difficulty before, and this could be bad for me, but let's go. As you can see that we did get 2 food to production after settling here. We also got 2 gold because we settled on a copper bonus resource, which gives me 2 gold. So getting back to tech tree, we need to queue up a tech to research, which I forgot. So maybe I'll go for mining first because we had 2 stone there. But just so you know, as you can see, the number there is 1, which means it will get research first. If you hold shift and then click on other tech, it will get queued up. So mining, animal husbandry, then pottery. So every unit has their own movement. So this warrior has 2 movement. Uh, so two, it can move 2 tiles. But as you can see here, it could only move 1 tile. The reason because it's crossing a river, and crossing a river costs 2 movement. So there's a movement penalty. Also, going through marsh gives you a movement penalty. So I'll be only move able to move 1 tile if I go through the marsh, or woods, or hills, and so on. So what I'm looking for is either a civilization or a city state. A city state is not again any other civilization you're competing with. It's just an independent city which will give you certain set of bonuses. And we met our first city state. It's Jerusalem. So as you can see, it's giving me 2 faith in my capital. I was the first civilization to meet them. That's why I get 1 free envoy with them. That won't be the case with other city states. If I don't meet them first, I do not get a free envoy with them. So you get envoys. So as you can see, I'm getting +1 influence point per turn, and I need 100 to get 1 envoy. And there are other ways to get envoys as well. The second thing is quests. So in each era, these city states will give you quests. So this is a trigger and Eureka, which is a boost for astrology. Astrology is here, and I have to find a natural wonder. If I do that, I'll get another free envoy with Jerusalem. And if you get 3 envoys with Jerusalem and also 2 over others, they will become yours. You will become their suzerain, which means they'll give you even more benefits and bonuses. So this is the voice because it's saying that the barbarian scout has detected my city, and there's an exclamation which means if this scout goes back to its camp and reports about me, then they will produce units to attack my city. So one way is to kill the scout before it goes back, but as you can see that there is a barbarian horseman, which is bad. So they already saw me. I could attack it with my slinger, but then slinger is a ranged unit and cavalry can easily kill a ranged unit. So as you can see, I do have a melee strength, but then they don't engage in melee. They always engage in ranged. So if horseman attacks me, it will count my melee strength and not my range strength. So I'll get back to the city because now if they attack me, they will damage my city instead of my slinger. So if the horseman comes near, I can just sling at him without getting damaged. Wow, they have two horsemen. So this is actually pretty bad. So I need to get my warrior up to help my slinger to clear some barbarians. I did read somewhere in, I think, Reddit that if you have one city state, I mean, if you have only one city, the barbarians won't attack your city and destroy it. But if you have more than one, if you have two, then they'll start attacking your city. So I don't know how much it is true, but it must be true. That's the only reason why they are not attacking me. Wow, they also have a horse archer. Now that's what I get for playing on Emperor difficulty. So whether I attack or defend, my unit always gets XP, and you'll know how XP is important in later stage. I'm fortifying my slinger. Now what fortify does is it helps in defense just a little bit. So there could be a chance that my slingers survive. Losing a unit this early on is very bad because every single turn counts and it takes quite a few turns to produce a unit. So as my slinger gets low on HP, their range strength decreases. Now, as you can see here, slinger base strength is 15 plus 5 combat strength on coastline because of my civilization trait, and the barbarians is getting plus 3 ideal terrain extra strength because he was on hills. So the terrain matters a lot in this game as well. I got a boost on archery because I killed a unit with a slinger. I'm checking what should I research next. Let's go straight to archery first. Getting archers and upgrading slingers, promoting them to archers would be really great now because we need to counter these barbarians. They did attack my city. So I guess what I read was not true, or maybe just true for lower difficulties. Anyway, so this is policies that you can enact every single time you research uh, a civic. You get to change the policies. So there are military policies, economic policies, diplomatic and wildcard policies, and each policy card goes in the specific slot. Wildcard is a slot where you can put any other policy. So we are putting discipline for fighting against barbarians, and God King for +1 faith and +1 gold in the capital. Maybe after archery, I can go to astrology and get holy side, because getting faith early on would be really cool. Getting a religion of our own. So one of my unit is ready to get promoted. That happens big once my unit levels up with XP. So every time your unit levels up, they get some sort of skill point, and you get to choose what upgrades do you want for your unit. I'm just checking out civics and thinking what to research next. Maybe we should go for craftsmanship first. A production towards builders, 30% production towards builders might come in handy, and I'll tell you once we start producing builders how builders work. One of the tricks that I always use is I either attack with a weaker unit first to weaken the enemy further, so that when I attack with my stronger unit, it deals a bigger damage. Or what I can do is I can promote my unit to uh, heal my unit. So I attacked with my stronger unit first and saw if I could take out the horse archer. I could not. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a promotion, maybe. And yeah, see, my unit is now full health. So even if the barbarian attacks me, oh, it's a archer. If it was a melee unit, then I could counter. My warriors can now finish off the horse archer. What I'm concerned about right now is that I'm producing too little science per turn. So what we'll do with this slinger is move up here, and then we'll move this slinger into the city, and eventually we'll explore all these parts. Now, what can I purchase with gold coins? Or is there okay, I have warrior that is in queue. I'll get the warrior next turn, but I can also get a builder maybe with gold coins. So I'm producing 10 gold coins per turn. That is because I have these gold tiles, and that's how basically you get gold per turn. So maybe I'll go for the settler, and you need settler to create more cities. That's how you eventually make your entire kingdom. You earn resources when your citizens work on those resource tiles. As you can see, you have three citizens here, and the city grows depending on how much food your citizens are working on. So each citizen consumes two food. As you can see, you have two surplus food, and you'll have to wait 32 turns till Kyoto grows. So when you go to manage citizens, you can see which tiles your citizens are working on. For example, if this citizen is working in this tile, it's consuming two food, producing two food and one production. If it's working in the capital, it's producing two production and two gold. Whereas if it's working on this copper, as you can see, it's actually losing one food and producing two production and two gold. I'm going to have a very good amount of early gold, And there are also other ways you can earn gold. For example, if you meet a tribal village, I will see that soon, even they can give gold. Now we have enough faith, and now we can choose a pantheon. We could go for a monument to the gods, but this might be good for some other civilization which focuses on building wonders. This is a very powerful pantheon. 15% production towards ancient classical era wonders. This is one of the general pantheon that any beginner could go for. It gives plus one grade person point from any district, holy site, campus, or theater. Now, what are great people? Great people points help you to recruit great person, which will give you certain benefits. Now, once you have enough points, you can hire one great person. As you can see, someone already has a great engineer from from classical era. That's why it's showing the next one is medieval era, which will grant 215 production towards wonder construction. It should usually not be possible to actually get a great engineer so early. So maybe some tribal village helped getting a great engineer. So let's get back to choosing a pantheon. We could go for stone circles, which gives plus two faith from queries. Now, do we have stones to build queries upon? I saw somewhere. Yeah, here there are two stones we have, so we can earn two faith from each. So this is a good option. Now, this could help us with if we wanted to take a religious victory path. But we have two, but we might need more of these queries to help us with that. Let's look at other pantheon. This is also very good. These both of these are really good. This one, religious settlements, you can see these borders. They expand and they determine your kingdom border. So the expansion rate of this border is up by 15%, which means you can have more land uh, under your control. This is pretty good as well. 25% production toward districts in cities without a specialty district. I think we are going to go with the general uh, pantheon that I recommended, which is Divine Spark. So now I'm checking if I do have the gold. Not yet. Oh, I wanted to get the slinger down below. I moved the slinger up. So we now also have a warrior, and I can now see the barbarian camp. This is where they were coming from. So now we'll take our troops. We'll put the warrior on the front line to deal with the barbarian camp. I'm really lacking exploration. I didn't explore a very good amount of map yet. Good. I can just walk in, and this is how you get rid of barbarian camps. It gave me 40 gold, which will help me a lot. And now I just have to defeat these barbarians. I'll use the slinger to explore up, and I'll use the other slinger to go down. I can now buy a builder, and my builder can actually work on these tiles. As you can see, it says recommended improvement mine, so it can improve various resources. Now this one needs irrigation, so where is irrigation? There. So I need this irrigation. I'll queue it up. Only then I will be able to improve my bonus resource tile. So now I'm also checking if I have sailing. So I'll also queue that up. Let's move to the next turn and see. That sound tells me. So we met a civilization that we are competing with, and it's Scythian Empire, Tomiris, Scythian Empire. We tried to declare our friendship, but she denied. So we could grab her capital for ourselves. So maybe I should prepare my troops to go up. I'll move down so that I'm sure that it's secure down there. So the next question would be, where do we settle our next city? So you see this thing called lenses. Now this is very handy. So you can have a religion lens. Sorry. So there are different shortcuts. Like this is the religion lens, and then continent lens, and then appeal lens, and then there is a settler lens. This is where you can see any recommendation where you could settle, and also appeal basically. You can also see where it is more appealing to settle. You can listen to it, and it doesn't give any bad suggestion. So usually a city can be worked up to three tiles. So this is something that I did not know. So let's say I have one, two, three, four, and I have a border like this. My citizens can won't ever work on these three tiles. They will only work in the three tile radius. So one, two, three, it reaches there. One, two, three, it reaches there. So this is how much the citizens can work from that city, and this is how much from this city. So this is a really good city. If we can defeat them, that would be great. So there are two reasons why it's a good idea to declare war on them early on. The first is there is one less competitor, one less civilization. The second is that if I take over this city, we can move towards domination victory. You see the star there? It's a city center. If we capture all the civilization city centers, then we can work towards it. Second reason is that if we declare war early on, there is no penalty for declaring war. So they have also worked on the city. I can see it. So we can just get this city for us, and we don't have to work from the scratch. They might have a lot of troops, so it would be good idea to pull this slinger back so that I can promote it to archer, and I can only do it if my unit is inside the border. Now she doesn't likes me for some reason, and I can't see why, because I do not have enough visibility. So if she doesn't likes me, she's basically telling me that I can go to war with her. So I'll move my warriors up, and I'll move my slingers down so that I can upgrade it to archer. I do need coins for that. We are going to go for astrology after archery. Irrigation and sailing is what I need. So archery, then I should go for sailing first, and then maybe irrigation, and then I can go for astrology maybe. But let's check how many people. Great profit. Nobody is working towards it, which is new, because usually the all the religions are already taken at this point.
I shot an arrow into the air. It fell to earth. I knew not where.
I love these quotes. We have met a tribal village at last. As you can see, this is how they look. The barbarian scout is upon them. So I'll use this handy tool called map tax. So I'll just press it over the tile and put a tribal village mark over there. And now I'll remember to collect the tribal village or visit them. All I have to do is move my troops towards the tribal village, and it will give me some sort of benefit. Sometimes it's research, sometimes it's just gold coins, and sometimes it's a unit. I can now upgrade my slinger to the archer. So what I'll queue next is, so I will be getting a settler next turn, so maybe I'll want to have another archer, and maybe another warrior or settler. Let's go for another settler and then a warrior. Usually scout would have been a good call because it takes just 3 turns and I could just explore, but I really need more troops right now if I want to go to war with the Scythian Empire. I'm just going to ignore this scout and maybe go towards tribal village. There's some sort of choke point here, so maybe this is the only way into my land, maybe. So it is possible that this is the end, and there's nothing more below, but it would be a good idea to eventually settle there. So I did get a science boost from the tribal village. Now I don't have to farm a resource to boost my uh, irrigation tech. Okay, now we have a settler, and as you can see, there are icons or recommendations, advices as I can settle there, and what are the reasons I can settle there. But there, so it says there might not be new resources, but then the regional yield is good. This is plains rainforest. So I really need to think where I need to settle. Should I go down below? So I can see plains hills over there. So instead of up there, I can settle over here. I don't see many resources around, but I hope I would have enough sea resources. One, two, three. One, two, three. So yeah, settling here would be good as my citizens can work on every single tile from Kyoto towards there. One, two, three. Yeah, I can also access the stone. So this is a really good place. I'll just remove this marker now. So I'll just get my slinger up so that it can escort my settler, and I'm also going to put a marker here. We have met someone else.
Ego Caesar, qui albibus senatoque coniurationes equaliter extinguit.
So we have met Caesar, and I don't know where they are, but I can see the scout. There could be somewhere over there. So I should go up. So I've noticed that these maps that I'm playing would usually have two big chunk continents, and it would be three civilization in each continent. So it is possible that in this continent I will only have Scythian Empire and Julius Caesar in this continent with me. He called me treacherous. I think we have to end the stream here. So next time what we are going to do is get the slinger up there to escort and settle over there. We might go to war with the Scythian Empire. So yeah, if anything changes, we might have to work it out. So we'll see how this playthrough turns out. So I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave your comments about how do you like this. And I'm streaming on Twitch and recording it for uh, YouTube. So yeah, let me know if you like this content and if you want me to continue in the future. Take care, have fun, and see you on the other side.